to the BCP night. And I think I'm saying that as much for me as for anything else because it's been a challenge to keep up with what day it is anymore. It's just one of those things. I don't know what day it is of quarantine for you. You look back and it might be day 10 or 11 depending upon when you started thinking about self quarantine, isolating, things like that. I know it is though day 2 out of 21 of this is not a lockdown, it's a shutdown. So be sure that you recognize that. It's not a lockdown, it's a shutdown. Look at a couple things really quickly. 322 cases that have been tested positive now for COVID-19 in the state of Oklahoma. This was as of numbers as of this morning on Friday, March 27th. So sure, there are probably a few more that have been testing positive since this time. On top of that, we know that not everyone has been tested yet, so keep that in mind as well, but no need to panic. Now, one of the things about the U.S. as a whole is that we're now testing people at a rate of about 100,000 a day, so that actually it's not bad at all. But again, day 2 of 21 of not a lockdown, but a shutdown, and my goodness, we can make it another 19 days, can't we? Will it really last that long? I don't know. We'll see. I think there are ways to incrementally get the economy going, not just here within the state of Oklahoma, but also in the entire country. And I think they're going to look at a few things too. I know that the president has sent letters to the governors. And of course, we saw some of those letters online. They are looking at possibly determining, and I know I talked about this yesterday also, but determining some counties as either high risk counties or medium risk counties or low risk counties, and that might be able to get some people back to work sooner. Who knows? May or may not happen. We'll see. All right. Election information, Bryan County elections. And let me find this really quickly. I have this up here. I can click on the right tab. I know I have this up. There we go. Bryan County elections, as the election board has made the change officially as of today. The elections that were supposed to take place on April 7th will now be rescheduled to June 30th. And that was the election for a special proposition in Boca Chica. It was a special proposition in Atchley, also Atchley School Board seat number 5 and Rock Creek School Board seat number 5. So all those elections have been rescheduled to June 30th. Now, that's kind of an abbreviated show tonight. I know that I've gone long a couple of nights, and I don't want to do that as much tonight. Do want to let you know next week we do have guests, and we'll have some businessmen and women that are going to be speaking about their businesses and also other opportunities and just some things in general in Bryan County. So I'm looking forward to having those guests on with me as well here on BCP Live. The relief package has actually been signed now by the president. So that can be a very good thing. We do know some of the numbers about that. We've talked about those numbers a few times here. $1,200 per adult, per tax-paying adult, if you make $75,000 or less, or if you and your spouse filed and you make $150,000 or less. So $1,200 per adult. That would be $2,400 if you are married and filing as married, jointly or separately, I guess, and then $500 per child in the household. Where's all that money coming from? Well, as one of my favorite YouTubers would say, don't know. And we don't know, but it's $2.2 trillion. There are a few other things that I really don't want to get into right now. I mean, we could talk about some of the other things that are actually in the relief package as well, maybe another night, but individually, that's what's coming out. And it should happen within 3 weeks. I'm hearing by April 15th. Now, if you are already signed up through the IRS with direct deposit, which I am, that's the way I did it a while back, was to get direct deposit. If I was going to get a refund, I wanted to get the refund pretty quickly. So if you're already signed up through direct deposit, it may be quicker. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. But that could be something there. Otherwise, they're going to be sending you those checks through the mail. All right. Oklahoma Department of Health is reminding us, don't go to the ER unless it is essential. We showed a picture yesterday about the surge tent that is here at Alliance Health in Durant. And so there's room and more room available at the emergency room if you are stopping by there. But they're suggesting that be the case. All right. Shout outs, by the way, going out tonight to Debbie from Durant Station. I want to say shout out to some of the sponsors and advertisers here on the Bryan County Patriot. Also to Jordan and Angie from Green Spray. I want to give a shout out to Greg from Greg Phillips State Farm. Yeah, that would be Greg Phillips. Anyway, Greg and Crystal at Hausner's. Want to give a shout out to you all as well. And to Brandon from Woodman Life. Thanks to all of the sponsors, all the advertisers here on the Bryan County Patriot. I appreciate you. Well, headlines in the news today, and we'll wind up our time with, well, I think this is a good note. I think this is something positive. Of course, headlines, always trying to throw those out there. Coronavirus is going to hit every city in America. That's one headline. Okay, how about this? U.S. now has 100,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, and the U.S. now leads the world in confirmed cases of coronavirus. Well, a couple of things about that. We expected that, didn't we? Was that not to be expected? I know that China has a number of people, their population, but I don't think all of their numbers, when they cut it off at 80,000 and no one else ever since then, ever has tested positive, you may want to check those numbers a little bit. Anyway, and listen, if you didn't expect the U.S. to surpass Italy in number of positive cases, think about this. Italy has a lot of people in a smaller area than the United States, because Italy, land-wise, has an area that's approximately, I think, a little bit less than that of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska combined. So obviously the United States is probably going to have a few more, and we know those numbers are probably going to continue to come in. However, here's one that I want to throw out to you today. This actually came on my Twitter feed, and it said Doris Burke tested positive for COVID-19. And I looked at that and I thought, man, that's sad. Now, if you don't know who Doris Burke is, she is a play-by-play announcer, works for ESPN. She actually does the NBA, and she's very good at what she does in basketball halls of fame. She's an amazingly talented play-by-play announcer. And I thought, well, that's really tough for her, till I started reading about it. And then I listened to a podcast that she did with a colleague of hers on ESPN today. She didn't test positive for COVID-19 today, and we're just now hearing about it. She tested positive for COVID-19 on March 11th. And we're just now hearing about it because she's better. She's doing well. And I wanted to bring that positive note to you because she's recovering. I can't say she's fully recovered. They didn't talk about the tests and coming up negative after that, like the story we had yesterday, where the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in the state of Oklahoma, that man has completely and fully recovered. Well, Doris Burke was talking about her experiences, and she didn't have some of the normal symptoms, quote unquote, normal symptoms. She had a lot of fatigue, and it was March 11th. And I don't know if you remember, but that was the night that the Utah Jazz were at Oklahoma City, and Rudy Gobert was the person, I believe, first one that was confirmed to have tested positive for COVID-19. And the NBA suspended the season. And then the next day, March 12th, everything in the sports world just went sideways. So Doris Burke tested on March 11th. She didn't actually get confirmation of a positive case of COVID-19 till 8 days later. 8 days later. So it took a little while for her to find out, but she has recovered, and she's doing well, and she's doing well enough to talk about it on ESPN with her colleagues. So there's some good news for today. With all the other things that we're hearing, this is going up, the rates are going up, all these things are happening. I want to tell you something. Folks are recovering from this, and we need to hear more about that, and I'll try to do my part. So anyway, that's it. An abbreviated show tonight. Did you have fun watching Don Hyde and his Joe Exotic trivia last night? That was pretty cool. Not on this channel, on Don's channel, but we'll we'll visit with Don again very soon, and we have some more guests for next week here on BCP Live. So in the meantime, I believe we'll be on tomorrow night as well. I'll be sure and let everyone know the time. We're trying to start at 9 o'clock again. So keep that in mind. And we'll be right here on this Facebook channel and on the YouTube channel as well. In the meantime, be wise in what you do. Use discretion in what you do, but don't walk in fear, okay? Don't be afraid. We're going to get through these things. This economy is going to rebound, and it's going to rebound on a big note. I just believe that. I think it's going to be cool. So thank you. No comments tonight. That's all right. Look forward to getting some more comments tomorrow night. In the meantime, God bless you all. Have a great night.